Hello babes, welcome back to my channel, and we are currently on week 3 of my keto journey. Today I wanted to talk about how my week looks like. Basically, I'm going to be talking about what I do from Sunday to Saturday. So Sundays I usually go for a run. I either work on my upper body or my lower body, and then I just enjoy what is usually my cheat day. And on my cheat days, I try to eat low carb and stay within a reasonable amount of carbs and just eat moderately and not go overboard with junk and stuff like that, but I still keep it low carb. My last cheat day, last Sunday, I kept it around 30 net carbs, which is pretty sweet, pretty low. So Mondays, I just recently started doing this again since starting a keto way of eating. Mondays are usually my fasting day. I started incorporating intermittent fasting into my week, and I've decided that since I'm doing pretty well on it, I'm gonna start doing 2 days of intermittent fasting during the week. Mondays I fast. Mondays are usually a rest day for me, even though I'm out and about and running errands, but I try to rest as much as I can, and I also don't work out. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, I work out. I usually have cardio before my main workout, and then I switch it up between either doing upper body or lower body. Thursday is my second intermittent fasting day. Again, a rest day. I take it pretty easy. I try to rest as much as I can, even though I'm pretty busy, and I know that some people might relate to that. There's a lot of things to do, especially if you have a family and you're in charge of the household. There are many things that you have to do, but I try to rest as much as I can. Fridays and Saturdays, again, workout days. I start with cardio. Saturdays I run, but I also switch it up between doing upper body and lower body workouts. I've recently gotten into watching Athlete XX workouts, which are workouts specifically designed for women, and they're very challenging. And right now I'm having a tough time like doing certain movements, and I feel it all over my body. It does burn. You definitely feel the aftermath of those workouts. I enjoy them a lot, and I would highly recommend checking out their channel. I will leave some links in the description of my video. Also, during the week, I did notice some interesting things. Usually I'm the one in charge in the family of making meals, meal prepping, etc. So when I was making breakfast for my son, he usually has oatmeal for breakfast. And I noticed that the smell was starting to drive me crazy. I don't know if it's the lack of carbs, the fact that I've lowered my carbohydrate intake by a lot, but the smell was just driving me crazy to the point where I was salivating at the thought of having oatmeal again. And I've always enjoyed having oatmeal, but not to the point to where I want to snatch it from my toddler. That's crazy. But I have to say that being able to explore recipes through Pinterest and YouTube videos, I've tried different substitutes for a bowl of oatmeal, kind of like either chia pudding or nut meal. It's good, it's satisfying, but nothing compares to the real deal. Let's be honest. I also mentioned in my last video that I was having cravings for odd things, kind of like seafood, and I've never been the type to enjoy seafood in general or even organ meats, but I said on my last video that I was craving um, these food items, and last week I caved in and I went shopping and I got liverwurst. I thought that might be the least offensive way, or the least rough way to start incorporating these items into my diet. And I have to say, um, I have become quite the adventurous eater, and I did enjoy my little bit of liverwurst. I had it with a Trader Joe's Norwegian crisp bread, I believe that's what it's called. I get the gluten-free version, which is lower in carbs. I'm sorry, I'm noticing some glare on my glasses. That looks ridiculous. Let me take that off. So I had the liverwurst on Norwegian crisp bread. Oh, that word. Norwegian crisp bread from Trader Joe's, and I spread it on it with a little bit of spicy brown mustard, and I believe I also added some of their everything but the bagel seasoning. That stuff is to die for. I've been sprinkling that on anything, on avocados, on hard-boiled eggs, and the hype is real. It's so good. So I had that, and I have to say, I see myself having it more often. I still haven't gone and bought seafood, but that might be next. I I don't know. I was craving it, but I found myself like down the rabbit hole on YouTube, and I, I swear YouTube sometimes it can be quite the interesting hot mess. So I found myself watching mukbang videos. I I understand why it's a thing, but some of the people that do mukbangs, honestly, they're a hot mess. And the sounds and the things they eat and the way they eat sometimes, it's straight up gross. Like, and I don't mean it as a personal attack. I'm not trying to be mean or shade anyone over that. It's just it is what it is. It can be quite disgusting. So I was watching this one video by this girl called Amberlynn Reed, and that group in itself, the people that follow her, her videos, that the whole thing is messy. So she did this mukbang video where she was eating an entire platter of shrimp that's meant for like a party. So multiple people are supposed to eat that. So she was just sitting there eating it and just making all the noise in the world, right? So that kind of put me off from my shrimp craving. So I don't know. Maybe I'll try it later on. Maybe I won't. I'm still dealing with my reaction over that mukbang video, or mukbang as she likes to call it. I also had my first experience with keto rash. My God, that was freaking annoying. My entire neck was covered in keto rash. And I have a tough time dealing with things like that because usually my skin is does pretty well. I don't get rash or stuff like that. But I couldn't stop scratching. So that's the first annoyance there. And my neck just looked completely red. I didn't take pictures because I rely on my phone mostly, and it isn't able to take good pictures of that. But the amount of itchiness that I felt was driving me crazy. And I tried looking for, can't notice, it's pretty cleared up by now. I tried looking for remedies and why it happens, and honestly, some people told me to eat more carbohydrates during the day, or try taking supplements. But honestly, a lot of the pages that people would recommend me to read, it honestly felt like they were just trying to sell me a supplement, and I I don't believe in that. I do take multivitamins and magnesium and potassium as my supplements, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to pay someone over $30 for a bottle that supposedly is gonna take away the keto rash. So what did help me out was just using Benadryl, like the one that comes in the little tubes. Like it looks like a pen and you just rub it in. So I used that for a couple of days, and by day three, basically it went away and I wasn't dealing with any itchiness. Um, I have, I'm sorry if I seem like I'm rambling. I have so many thoughts and ideas going in my head right now, and I want to talk about them as much as I can without stumbling into the issue I had last video with my son waking up and just making a mess of everything. So yeah. Um, any weight progress? No, I'm still fluctuating between 148 pounds and 147, which, now that I think about it, the amount of days that I've been on this keto way of eating, I'm gonna stop calling it a diet. It's a way of eating. Um, I have to say, I sound like a broken record. I said it last time too. I need to stop obsessing with the weigh-ins and the numbers. Yes, weighing myself and getting to that goal weight is super important to me. But the reality is that I've only spent, this is the end of my third week doing this, and I've already lost 10 pounds. Even if it's water weight, that is freaking amazing. And I have to say that for such a short amount of time, that's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna magically get to my goal weight in such a short time. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of dedication to reach your goal. So yeah, I've decided to not obsess over it. I'm taking it one day at a time, and it feels a lot better. But yeah, that I shouldn't be obsessing over that. Another thing is that I notice my clothes do feel loose, especially in the waist area. I did share some pictures on my Instagram of the difference that I noticed in my tummy area and how loose my pants looked compared to a few months ago. So yeah, it's definitely true what they say. You might not lose in numbers, but you do lose in inches. It does show. Uh, Another pro I've noticed, my energy levels amazing. I rarely get tired. But now that I've been incorporating more intense workouts, I should definitely start resting way more than I do. Sometimes I tend to get carried away with the amount of things that I want to get done in a day. It's my type A personality getting the best of me, and I I should rest a little more. So that's it for week 3. Um Again, feeling great, feeling amazing, seeing a lot of progress. I know that last time I said I was gonna measure myself and show like before and after pictures, but it's very hard for me to go and get certain items like a measuring tape when I don't own a car. I rely on public transportation right now, and I'm also in charge of taking care of my son. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that. because it definitely is important if you want to see the progress that you've had in a way of eating. So I want to thank anyone if they're out there watching me, and I'll see you next week with more on my keto journey. I'm also thinking about maybe doing more vlogs on specific topics. I've I have a lot to say about certain things, especially with that mukbang, whatever that's going on now, especially with people who are morbidly obese and are trying to mix weight loss with mukbangs. That's a no-no in my opinion, but we'll save my thoughts on that for another moment. So as always, I'll leave the link to my Instagram below. I hope you guys join me again next week, and I'll see you guys around. Bye bye.